Hi there, my name is Tana and I am a busy working mom to 2 little ones. In today's video, I have 5 steps to prepare for natural birth. Okay, so real quick before I jump into the tips, I just want to talk about why I chose to have a natural birth, and I'm going to do this as quickly as possible, and if you want more details, I will put links in the description box to other videos. So the first reason that I wanted to have a natural birth was I was trying really hard to have a VBAC. I previously had a C-section with my first baby, and I really wanted to make sure that I was doing everything that I felt I could do to make sure I stayed out of the OR and did not have a C-section. The second reason that I really wanted to have a natural birth was I actually did not go into labor with my first baby. I had to have a medically necessary C-section and never actually got to experience labor. And not knowing whether or not I was gonna have a third kid, I felt like this was like kind of my one shot to experience natural labor and kind of understand what truly happens when your body is ready to have a baby. So those were the main 2 reasons why I decided to have a natural birth. So now let's jump into the tips or things that I did to prepare myself to have a natural birth. So tip number 1 is to find an OBGYN or a midwife who fully supports natural birth. If you are shopping around for a doctor right now, or even if you already have a doctor and you're getting a vibe from your doctor that they don't really support natural birth, that is the first red flag. That is the first issue. You need to find a doctor that is going to be supportive. I would ask your doctor for statistics. How many patients have they had in the last year that had a natural birth? How many have had maybe an epidural vaginal birth? How many have had a C-section? And try to find out more information about your doctor's statistics. I think it is very normal for doctors to push for C-sections because these are things that can be scheduled. It's not going to keep the doctor up all odd hours of the night, and frankly, it's probably a lot easier for them to just get into the OR, get that baby out, and get on with their life versus, you know, checking in on you a million times while you're in the hospital. So while I think that there are really great doctors out there, I definitely think there are doctors out there that either have been in practice for so long or just want to kind of take the easy way out and will totally support doing a C-section early when maybe it's not even medically necessary. So find a doctor that is going to support you, or choose a midwife if you feel that that is a better option for you. There are pros and cons to both. The second thing I would tell you to do is actually write a birth plan and discuss that birth plan with your doctor. You need to be absolutely clear with your doctor about why you want to have a natural birth and what your goals are in doing so. Make sure you share this birth plan with your partner, anyone that's going to be supporting you, your doctor, and have it in writing, and actually go ahead and just print it out and put it in your birth bag so that if you get to the hospital or the birthing center and someone is asking you a bunch of questions that you just can't really like talk through in that exact moment, you can point to your birth plan and someone can go ahead and read that on your behalf. The third thing I would advise doing, if you can afford it, is hiring a doula. A doula is trained to help you get through your birth. That is what they do. A doula is a person who provides emotional support during your pregnancy and during your labor. Having a doula is amazing. It is so empowering to have a doula, and if you can afford it, I would definitely recommend getting one. If you're on the fence or you're having a hard time budgeting for it, ask around and see if anyone in your area might recommend a doula that maybe has a payment plan option. I know mine did. Or you could probably try to find a student doula in your area who is maybe working on getting their hours towards their certification or is in the process of becoming a certified doula. Doulas are not medical professionals, but they do generally go through a certification process, and they do have to have a certain amount of hours at births before they're fully certified. Just real quick, a little bit more about doulas. The general cost of a doula can vary quite a lot depending on where you are located in the US. A doula could be $500 and it could be as much as $5,000. It really just depends on how much experience this doula has and what city you're in. It also can vary depending on if you hire one specific doula versus if you hire a team of doulas. So if you hire one specific doula, you know that that is going to be your doula at your birth, unless there are 5 people in labor at once, and you know, then you'll have to ask them what their policy is. Or you can hire a team of doulas. One of them will be at your birth, but you're not really sure which one until you go into labor. That's what I chose. I decided to go with a team of junior doulas to keep my costs more affordable, and it was around $2,000 for me to hire a doula, and absolutely worth it. Okay, the fourth thing that you need to do is educate yourself. So yes, you've made a birth plan, and yes, you've hired a doula, But before you even finalize your birth plan, and certainly before you go into labor, you want to prepare yourself with as much education as possible. And there are lots of ways that you can get free resources to prepare your body. If you only have a limited amount of money and you want to put that money towards a doula and you don't think you can afford childbirth classes, I would say put the money towards a doula. That's what I did. I had a finite amount of money that I was willing to spend on my birth experience, and I knew that I couldn't afford to hire a doula and do birthing classes. So I chose to put the money towards a doula, and I found a lot of free resources or low cost resources to help me educate myself to get ready for labor, finalize my birth plan, and just mentally be prepared going into it. So the very first thing that you can do is right here on YouTube. There are so many tips and tricks on this platform about how to prepare yourself for labor, and there's even childbirth classes that have been recorded that you can watch for free. So you can absolutely go out and sign up for a birthing class, or you can even talk to your doula if you hire one about classes that their center might offer. If you're looking to have a natural birth, I would try to find something here on the platform that is focused on the Bradley method, because the Bradley method is a natural method. You can read books or you can listen to books on Audible, and I would strongly again suggest the Bradley method. That is the method that I chose. So I would listen to the book on my way to and from work, and I was able to get through the book pretty quickly and still get all the other things done in my life that I needed to get done. And then if there was a section that I really wanted to refer back to, I could refer back to the hard copy. The audiobook will also come with PDFs, so if you choose to just get the audiobook, you still will be able to get to any of like the visuals and graphics that would have been included with the hard copy of the book. In the Bradley method, you are going to learn a lot about the different stages of labor. It happens before your body goes into labor. You're going to learn about what happens kind of in the early stages of labor when you are starting to dilate and reach effacement. And you want to learn about that because you want to know what the signs are that you need to be looking for. And really, if it's your first baby, how far apart should your contractions be before you head to the hospital or the birth center? I know a lot of people think like, oh, as soon as I go into labor, I'm going to be rushing right to the hospital, but that's really not what you want to do. You want to labor at home as long as possible if you can, because being in your natural environment and being somewhere that is comfortable to you is actually going to be a lot better for your body and really help your body progress through labor much quicker. Obviously, once you're in active labor, you want to either be headed to the hospital or be at the hospital, and this book really helped me to know when I was in active labor versus kind of some of that earlier stage. And when I got to the hospital, I was 5 centimeters dilated and 90% effaced. So I pretty much went right to triage and then went right to my delivery room, and my baby was born 12 hours after I woke up in labor. So I was only in labor for 12 hours, which I think is a pretty quick labor. Maybe my next labor would be even quicker because they say that it gets quicker each time, but knowing that I hadn't even gone into labor the first time around, I thought 12 hours for my second baby was pretty great. So reading the Bradley method is also going to help you with this next area, which is just to prepare mentally. And when I say prepare mentally, I mean mentally prepare yourself that it is going to be painful. It is not going to be an easy ride, but if it is something that is important to you, you can absolutely have the baby naturally. Our bodies were meant to do this, and you can do it. If you choose to get an epidural, that's fine too. There is no judgment. You choose what is best for you. But if you want to have a natural labor, I would say being mentally prepared is very important. And you can do this in a number of different ways. There are different birthing methods, such as hypnotic birthing, getting into a different state of mind. You can also write down positive affirmations. That's something I did, and it was very helpful to me to be able to read those or have my partner read them to me to really be able to focus on why I was doing this, especially as things got tougher throughout the day. And also you can prepare mentally as far as like what you want your environment to be, both at home and once you get to the hospital. So at home, obviously you have more control, but once I got to the hospital, I knew that there were some things that I wanted to have at the hospital or bring to the hospital, like music, to help me get into that right mental state of mind. So whatever it is that helps you mentally focus or get to that place where you can really focus on what you're trying to accomplish, I would say practice that mindfully. If your thing is yoga, then practice yoga and be intentional about, you know, your affirmations even leading up to birth. And I was leading up to my birth, every single night I would tell myself, like, I am gonna go into labor on my own and I can do this, because I wanted my body to go into labor on its own. And there's something powerful about putting that out into the universe and focus on, you know, kind of willing it into existence. And then the very last tip I have for you is just think about your own pain levels and how you typically manage pain and what your coping or pain management mechanisms might be when you are in active labor. If that's taking a shower, if it's the warm water, if it's a birthing tub, using a birthing ball, if it's certain positions, maybe it's something that you look at or focus or a picture that you bring to the hospital. Whatever it is, this kind of goes hand in hand with the mental piece, like mentally prepare and then have those tools that are gonna help you get through the pain management. So I hope this video was helpful in getting you to start thinking about whether or not you want to have a natural birth, and if so, what are some things that you can do ahead of time to prepare. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I hope you will hit that red subscribe button and stick around for more videos, pregnancy, postpartum, and motherhood as a working mom. All my videos do come from the voice of a working mom. So if you're interested in that, I would definitely love for you to join my little YouTube family in this corner of the internet. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.